Has the moment of truth arrived for the Montreal Canadiens, a team meticulously built for sustained success, now facing a pivotal decision that could define their immediate future? How much longer can a burgeoning contender afford to gamble on the tantalizing promise of unfulfilled potential when a clear path to systemic solidity presents itself? The air around the Bell Center is thick with anticipation, not just for the puck drop, but for the strategic chess moves that could reshape the roster, particularly concerning one of its most perplexing talents, Patrick Laine. This isn't merely about a player. It's about identity, philosophy, and the relentless pursuit of a championship standard. The Montreal Canadiens are undeniably one of the most electrifying teams on the ascent in the National Hockey League. What began as a focused, albeit ambitious, 3-year rebuild has rapidly accelerated, transforming a storied franchise from a hopeful project into a legitimate force. General Manager Kent Hughes, a man renowned for his astute eye for talent and an unwavering willingness to make bold moves, has masterfully accumulated a wealth of draft capital. Many of these prize selections are now blossoming into dynamic young stars, forming the vibrant core of the active roster. Last season, this burgeoning group took a monumental leap forward, punching their ticket to the playoffs and igniting a fervent sense of hope and excitement that swept through the passionate Montreal fan base. Hughes, however, is not one to rest on past achievements. He has been relentlessly aggressive in augmenting this youthful core with complementary pieces, always seeking to accelerate their trajectory towards perennial contention, to forge a dynasty from promising raw materials. One of Hughes' most intriguing and certainly most debated acquisitions came last summer when he brought in the disgruntled yet undeniably gifted Patrick Laine from the Columbus Blue Jackets. Laine's arrival in Montreal was met with a potent cocktail of anticipation and apprehension. Here was a player possessing an absolutely lethal shot, a pure goal scorer capable of altering the momentum of a game with a single flick of the wrist, a power play specialist whose offensive instincts are second to none. Yet his career, much like his tenure in Montreal thus far, has been a bewildering odyssey of dazzling peaks and perplexing valleys. He is a player who has consistently struggled to find a consistent home and a perfect fit, a place where his immense talent can consistently shine without the accompanying shadows of inconsistency. And it is precisely this mercurial nature, this frustrating oscillation between brilliance and anonymity, that has fueled the latest and perhaps most significant wave of trade speculation. Caleb Kearney of Heavy Sports has now unveiled a bold trade proposal that would see the Canadiens part ways with the enigmatic Finnish winger, sending him back to the Blue Jackets in a direct, one-for-one swap for the promising young forward Yegor Chinakhov. Kearney's proposed deal is deceptively simple in its structure, yet profound in its potential implications for both franchises. The Canadiens would acquire Yegor Chinakhov, a player who embodies the modern two-way forward, while the Blue Jackets would welcome Patrick Laine back into their fold, hoping their return to familiar surroundings might finally unlock his dormant, elite potential. This trade proposal will be a big deal for both teams, Kearney asserted, meticulously outlining a rationale that speaks to the distinct strategic needs of each organization. The Canadiens add a young winger who plays sound offensively, while the Blue Jackets can offer Laine a fresh start to facilitate a bounce-back season. It's a deal that, on paper, offers immediate solutions and aligns with long-term visions, a potential inflection point for two teams navigating different stages of their competitive cycles. Let's delve deeper into the profiles of the players involved and the compelling arguments that underpin this potential transaction. For Montreal, Yegor Chinakhov, at 24 years old, possesses a robust frame, standing at 6 feet 1 inch and weighing 203 pounds. He was the Blue Jackets' 21st overall pick in the highly competitive 2020 draft, a testament to his high pedigree and perceived potential. Last season, he recorded a respectable 15 points in just 30 games, showcasing a tantalizing blend of offensive skill and responsible, mature defensive play. What makes Chinakhov particularly attractive to Canadiens, especially under the demanding tutelage of head coach Martin St. Louis, is his unwavering commitment to a strong two-way game. In St. Louis's system, a relentless work ethic, defensive accountability, and a willingness to engage in all three zones are not merely desirable traits. They are non-negotiable prerequisites for any player aspiring to earn significant ice time. Chinakhov brings precisely that responsible play, a tireless motor, and a developing offensive touch that could seamlessly integrate into Montreal's middle six forward group, providing invaluable depth, unwavering reliability, and a consistent, high-energy presence. He isn't just another young forward. He represents a piece that perfectly aligns with the evolving identity of the Canadiens, a team meticulously constructed around speed, skill, and an unyielding commitment to playing a complete 200-foot game. Furthermore, shedding Laine's substantial $8.7 million cap hit for this season would furnish Kent Hughes with significant financial flexibility, a precious commodity in the increasingly tight salary cap era. This newfound cap space would empower him to potentially pursue other high-impact targets at the trade deadline, extend key young players who are rapidly outperforming their current contracts, or simply maintain cap space for future strategic maneuvers, ensuring the Canadiens remain agile and opportunistic in a dynamic market. It's a move that unequivocally prioritizes system fit and financial prudence over the tantalizing, yet often elusive, offensive upside of Laine, a clear and decisive indication of Hughes' disciplined and forward-thinking approach to roster construction. For the Columbus Blue Jackets, the notion of reacquiring Laine might initially appear counterintuitive, a step backward for a team that recently moved on from him. However, this potential return is framed as an opportunity for a genuine fresh start, a calculated gamble on raw, undeniable talent. Sometimes, a change of scenery, even a return to a familiar one, can serve as the ultimate catalyst, reigniting a player's passion and unlocking their peak performance. Laine is intimately familiar with the Blue Jackets organization. He knows the city, the fan base, and the expectations. Perhaps a return to a place where he has experienced success could be the very spark needed for a bounce-back season, a chance to shed the immense weight of expectations that have often stifled his brilliance. Columbus is still firmly entrenched in a rebuilding phase, diligently accumulating assets and nurturing their promising young core. If Laine can indeed rediscover his elite goal-scoring touch, even for a single season, he could either become an invaluable offensive asset for them, providing a much-needed scoring punch, or be strategically flipped at the trade deadline for future draft capital, transforming a reclamation project into a profitable return. It's a calculated risk, a bold bet on the raw, undeniable talent that made him the second overall pick, and a hope that a less intense spotlight, or perhaps a redefined role, might finally allow him to consistently thrive. The timing of this trade pitch couldn't be more acutely poignant, especially when considering Laine's recent on-ice performance. The Finnish sniper has just embarked upon the fourth and final season of the four-year, $34.8 million contract extension he originally inked with the Blue Jackets back in 2022. That represents a significant cap hit, a substantial financial investment in a player who, frankly, has yet to consistently deliver on his immense, game-breaking potential. And if his season-opening performance in Toronto is any indication, his role in Montreal might be shrinking rather than expanding, a deeply worrying sign for a player in a critical contract year. With a wealth of depth permeating every line of the lineup, Canadiens head coach Martin St. Louis faces increasingly difficult decisions when constructing his forward groups, prioritizing players who consistently embody the team's core identity and contribute across all facets of the game. On Wednesday night, in their season-opening loss to the formidable Maple Leafs, Patrick Laine found himself relegated to the fourth line, playing very limited minutes. This resulted in the second lowest total ice time of any Canadiens forward, a stark and undeniable indicator of his diminished standing within the team's hierarchical structure. Even in that restricted window of opportunity, things did not go well for Laine. He registered a disheartening -2 rating, took a frustrating first-period hooking penalty that disrupted team momentum, and was held to a mere one shot on goal. It was a performance that only amplified the persistent questions surrounding his fit and his long-term future in Montreal, a glaring example of the struggles that have plagued him throughout his career. The Patrick Laine enigma is a truly fascinating one, a complex puzzle that has confounded coaches and general managers across the league. He possesses all the physical tools and the pure, unadulterated skill to be an elite scorer in the NHL, a truly special talent capable of dominating games. Yet, he has consistently struggled to find a consistent rhythm and a true home, a place where his unique abilities can consistently flourish without the accompanying shadows of inconsistency. Is it a matter of coaching philosophy, a fundamental system fit issue, or perhaps a deeper psychological battle with the immense pressure that inevitably accompanies being a high draft pick and a prolific scorer? His current contract situation only adds layers of complexity to this already intricate narrative. Being in the final year of a significant deal, every shift, every shot, every mistake is magnified under an unforgiving spotlight. He is quite literally playing for his next contract, and a limited role on the fourth line, coupled with a poor opening night, is hardly the audition he needs if he continues to be utilized in such a restricted capacity in Montreal. It's not just his trade value that will inevitably diminish, but his long-term prospects in the league could be severely impacted. The Canadiens, under the visionary leadership of St. Louis, are meticulously building a team identity around blistering speed, exceptional skill, and relentless, unwavering effort. If Laine cannot consistently adapt to that demanding, high-octane style, then his future might indeed lie elsewhere, and perhaps sooner rather than later. This proposed trade, therefore, transcends a simple player swap. It represents a strategic chess move that meticulously addresses immediate needs and long-term visions for both franchises. For Montreal, it's about solidifying their burgeoning identity, gaining crucial cap flexibility, and integrating a player who perfectly aligns with their evolving system, a piece that can consistently contribute to their collective pursuit of excellence. For Columbus, it's a calculated gamble on a high-upside talent, a hopeful endeavor to finally unlock the potential that has, at times, seemed just out of reach, a chance to rekindle the flame of a truly gifted scorer. The entire hockey world will be watching with bated breath to see if Kent Hughes decides to pull the trigger on what could prove to be a defining move for Canadiens' immediate future, a decision that will undoubtedly send ripples across the league. What's your definitive take on this potential blockbuster? Do you believe the Canadiens should decisively move on from Patrick Laine and bring in Yegor Chinakhov, prioritizing system fit and crucial financial flexibility? Or do you firmly believe Laine deserves more time to find his footing in Montreal, to truly unleash the offensive prowess we all know he possesses, and become the player he was drafted to be? We are eager to hear your thoughts, your bold predictions, and your insightful analysis in the comments section below. Let's ignite a passionate discussion. And if you found this breakdown insightful and thought-provoking, don't hesitate to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for all the latest trade rumors, in-depth analysis, and breaking news from around the NHL. Your engagement fuels our passion and helps us bring you more of the content you love, keeping you at the absolute forefront of the hockey world.